Not me entering my final stage of full-blown crash out. I'm literally crashing out. I was so excited for tonight. Oh my God, I'm so worked up. I was gonna get dressed up. I mean, I still am. I'm definitely getting a martini now. Last week, I fucking hate student loans. Last month, I set up auto pay because I don't want to forget. I don't like being late. You could never get on the phone with these stupid student loan people. And I log on today because I have to get my fucking tax documents. Fuck my life. Life never ends. I'm like, oh my God,
I'm gonna just pause right here. When you're in this state of mind, whether it's money or whatever about life, it doesn't help you to say F your life. Like, what? Let's, take one step at a time. You know what I'm saying? How people talk to themselves is just as important as who they identify themselves as. I broke that up and it sounded terrible. How people talk to themselves, how you talk to yourself is how you identify yourself. You got to watch yourself talk. You have to live in your mind, meaning whatever your environment is, right? Whatever your environment is, your mind is creating its own environment based off your perception of yourself and the other things around you. Let's continue.
As my payments late. And I'm like, how does that even make sense? I set up auto pay last month with my card and my bank and all the stupid information. And then I call them today and they're like, it's going to be a 3-hour and 50-minute wait time. And then I'm trying to have dad help me. And I'm like,
bro. All right.
Did you guys have me set up auto pay for that if my payments are now late? And I'm like, I'm not crashing out over a week.
Let me go back. My fault.
I was gonna get dressed up. I mean, I still am. I'm definitely getting a martini now. Last week, I fucking hate student loans. Last month, I set up auto pay because I don't want to forget. I don't like being late. You could never get on the phone with these stupid student loan people. And I log on today because I have to get my fucking tax documents. Fuck my life. Life never ends. I'm like, oh my God, it says my payment's late. And I'm like, how does that even make sense? I set up auto pay last month.
So it seems to me that her auto pay is showing up as auto pay, but it's showing up late. What's going on here?
With my card and my bank and all the stupid information. And then I call them today and they're like, it's going to be a 3-hour and 50-minute wait time. And then I'm trying to have dad help me. And I'm like, what did you guys have me set up auto pay for that if my payments are now late? And I'm like, I'm not crashing out over Mohila. You're ugly. I don't have time for this. I'm crying.
All right, what the hell? Let's see what the comment section is saying. Someone said, girl, we don't play Mohila. We only pay private. My favorite part of Mohila is when I try to log in and they act like I don't have an account every single time. Okay, so it seems as though that there's this company that you can pay your loans through, or they give out the loans, and people are scheduling payments, but they have technical difficulties to where your auto pay can be late. Is that true? Let me know in the comment section down below. Do you have any review? Do you have any thoughts about this? Have you known anybody who has done business with this company? Another person said, take screenshots of everything. I've made big payments that were taken out of my account but never applied to my balance. I've never trusted Mohila with auto pay or anything else. Honestly, when it comes down to my loans too, I don't put auto pay on nothing. Why? Well, I believe it gives up some sort of responsibility. One, when you have things on auto pay, you're not really aware of when the money is coming out. I like to track my money. I like to make sure this is how much money I have in this account. This is how much should be taken out. This is how much should be applied to interest. This is how much should be applied to the principal. And it helps me stay intact. Now, it is more work, and a lot of the times auto pay does relieve you of that stress of being late, right? But here's the truth. If you're not responsible over your finances, you're just not responsible over your finances. Guys, I apologize. My phone is not on airplane mode today. And yeah, we're getting calls in between. So anyways, continuing forward, let me go ahead and switch my screen so I don't keep on getting interrupted. Everybody should know that I am on live, but the show must go on. So anyways, continuing on, yeah, I don't put my stuff on auto pay because I believe that there's a sense of responsibility that happens when you take things off of auto pay. I use Google, and that's my auto pay. It's my reminder. Literally, I pay my loans every single week so I can pay overall less interest, more towards principal as well. But let me know in the comment section down below, do you use auto pay for your loans, for your payments? Why and why not? All right. Now let me go ahead and continue on. Hopefully we're not going to get any other calls. So let's get back to it.
Just spent like an hour fighting with the student loan people. It obviously did not go the way I wanted it to. It ended with, sorry, your credit is impacted. No, it ended with them putting me on mute and saying, and then I said hello, and they said, just giving you a moment. So here's what happened. Last month, I found out that my credit was bad because I applied for an apartment and didn't get approved. And I was like, that's odd. That's never happened.
I wonder how low her credit was. Not saying that all apartment complexes make the decision off of the same type of credit score or credit history. But I remember my first apartment, I didn't have the best credit. It was probably 520, 530, which is literally terrible compared to what I have now. But I still got approved. So let me know in the comment section down below, what has your experience been with having the lowest credit score you've had, or you know someone who's gotten approved for with a lower credit score? What have they gotten away with, or what have you gotten away with? I'm just curious.
So I look and I find out that I've not been paying my student loans since January. I didn't even know that was happening. I didn't get any emails or phone calls or anything. And so I call and I find out that they have like my mom's email and my house number, like landline. Yeah, like my landline from when I was in high school, my parents' landline. So I call them and I talked to some guy, super helpful. He gets my loans like back in good standing and said that my credit will reflect that there were no missed payments. I'm like, okay, great. Like everything is solved because I didn't even know. I didn't even know that this was happening. If I did, I would have called. I would have logged into the stupid app. Like I just had no clue. I truthfully had no idea.
This is when you got to take self-responsibility. It's not their responsibility to make sure that you have the right address, the right phone number. It sucks. I've been in situations like this, and it's because I've had a million emails, right? But nowadays, I tend to sign up with one primary email, and I make sure that the things that need to be paid, obviously, I know I have student loans, so why wouldn't I get emails or letters from the people who I owe money to? It's almost like you're living in this fairy tale world of like, oh, well, they didn't send anything, so I shouldn't have to investigate and figure out why they're not asking for it. Just because you're not getting the messages doesn't mean that you're not owing the money. It sucks. I definitely feel for her because it's like, yo, why wouldn't my parents tell me anything either, right? If it's getting delivered at their address. But hey, listen. It's not the parents' fault either. It's your responsibility. It really is. And I'd be surprised if these people let her off the hook just because, you know, she had the right information. She already said that they weren't going to show it up on her credit, so maybe she's in good standing. Let's continue.
And I checked my credit today because I need to apply for an apartment, and it shows that I have 63 missed.
I wanted to pause it before she said it, but she proved me right. 63 missed payments. If you're making a payment every month, you've missed 5 years. 5 years.
Payments because I have multiple student loans because I went to college for a long time. 63 missed payments. It's like 90% impacting my credit, something like that. I don't know, 90% highly impacted. I don't even know what the numbers mean anymore. I'm like going insane. These people were so unhelpful. They're like, were you in the military? No. Were you in school at the time of the missed payment?
They're asking the questions that justify why you would miss that many payments.
No. Well, it was your job to update us. And I'm like, as soon as I knew, I updated you. I'm like, we don't.
But why didn't she figure out sooner? If you know you owe the money, why wouldn't you figure it out sooner?
don't do goodwill adjustments. So good luck. Over time, your credit will increase. I'm like, my credit score dropped like almost 200 points because of this. Like, I can't get approved.
Hold on, we got to take a moment of silence for her while I readjust my chair. Hold on. 200 points is insane. I wasn't expecting that hard of a hit, but good gracious. Good gracious.
For an apartment. Like, there's got to be something. Like, I had no clue. And she said, I can't help you with housing. I hope the situation gets better for you. I'm like, how? It won't. You know it won't.
And it won't until you become responsible. Let's see what the people in the comment section are saying. Someone said January, it took you 9 months to look at your credit score. You applied for an apartment before looking at your credit score. 3,000 people liked that comment. Other people below it said, who looks at their credit score regularly? Me? I look at that thing every week. I get emails about that thing. What are you talking about? I got little widgets on my iPhone home screen that show me my updated credit score every so often. So, hey. Another person said, I do monthly. You should check to make sure everything is correct. I had to make a report on my credit because a couple months after I bought my house, the mortgage was sold and it was on my credit twice. All I'm going to say, Credit Karma. I use Credit Karma. Okay. They tell me about my auto loan. They tell me about my college loan. They tell me about my credit cards. They tell me about a lot of stuff. Like, you got to look, we live in a technological world. There should be no reason why you don't know your credit score and what's showing up there. Honestly. Even if you're not on your phone all the time, you're like, well, people work and they have busy lives. I got an Apple Watch, baby. The notifications get sent to my wrist. The battery lasts 48 hours. What are we talking about? Why are you missing important things like this? Maybe you miss a coupon code in your email, but your credit score? And you're depending on your credit score to help you move into an apartment? Prioritization. Someone else said, unfortunate for sure, but this is adulting 101. I'm glad they say that. I'm glad they said that, because a lot of the times we see people making up excuses as to why it's unfair, why they should let her off the hook, when honestly, this is a lesson that really didn't have to be a lesson. But continuing on, your debt is your responsibility regardless if someone doesn't remind you that you owe it. Failure to repay is not excused because you weren't sent reminders. The creator said, I don't disagree, just looking for a helpful path forward. Google Calendar, Google Tasks, literally. It tells me on my phone, it tells me on my watch, all right? You schedule these things. You schedule to look at your finances. You schedule to look at your bank accounts. Use these apps if you have to and pay a subscription. Rocket Money, $6 a month, I believe, is what I've used in the past in order for me to stay in tune with my credit cards and on my bank accounts and my credit score. Like, yeah, you don't want to miss these type of things. Obviously, she's in a very regretful state. Her credit score dropped 200 points because of that.
Really can't believe it's people in the comments of this student loan situation talking about this is how the world works. You borrow money, you pay it back. Shut your stupid ass up. A fucking school loan ain't the same as an auto loan or a home loan or a personal loan, you damn idiot. Black people, minorities.
All right, but you're still borrowing money, and I hope she's not about to play the victim card about black people and being a minority. Listen, if you're new to the channel and you don't like what I say because of this, hey, this message is for you, but maybe you don't want to listen to the message that's about to come if she's about to play this victim card, because I'm not for it.
Especially had to go to school. We ain't left shit. We had to go to school. I had no choice but to go to damn school. And then when I went to school, it wasn't like I'm working for my damn self now. I'm making money for other people. And the money gets taxed. This shit is all going back into the hand. It's like a big ass circle, and y'all fail to realize that. Your fucking credit score is made the fuck up. That's some made up shit. Money made the fuck up. This is a system. America is a system. I'm confused.
It is a system, but it's so funny how people get mad at the system that they can still take advantage of. Why do I say that? There's been plenty of people who have taken advantage of the system in a legal way. Of course, we know you have one stream of income and yeah, you get taxed. But what about tax write offs? What about educating yourself on how to get these things? Creating an LLC, starting a business, being an entrepreneur, investing money back into yourself, because these type of things are write offs. It just amazes me how so many people blame the system that they choose to stay stuck in. This is a choice.
At how the hell y'all still don't realize this shit. Then on top of that, y'all ain't even willing to try to make reasonable payment plans. Y'all ain't even trying to do like $100 a month. Y'all want the whole shit.
I used to get mad at this too. Man, why are my student loans $365 a month? Why would they do that to me? When I had to look back at it, I was like, you know what? I signed my name on that paper. I signed my name on those dotted lines. So guess what? I'm responsible for it. And if I don't like the loan payments, there's two things that I can do, but it's only one that I can do at the same time, right? There's only one I can do at the same time. One, I can complain about it and talk about, well, why can't they lower it? Obviously, it's going to get stretched a longer time and you're going to pay more money over time. Or two, get motivated by the pain. You see, as humans, we run away from pain. And some people like to stay in their pain. It's called being a victim. A lot of the times when people run from pain, it's usually physical. You put your hand on the stove, you jump back real quick. The water's too hot in the shower. Ooh, nah. You turn on a cold shower. Ooh, that's too cold. There's no way I can do that, right? But when it comes down to running from pain, like, I'm bored. Let me just scroll on my phone. Ain't nothing to do. Man, let me watch Netflix. I don't need to buy that jewelry. I don't need to buy that TV. I don't need that Netflix subscription, but I'm gonna go ahead and use my credit card to get out of this pain of thinking that I can't afford it. I can afford it, right? I can buy the car. I can buy the house, right? I can make the payments. I'll just pay the minimum balance on my credit card, right? They're running away from pain and they're using it to pleasure themselves. But here's the thing. Why don't we do that when it comes down to these loans? Oh, this loan makes me so uncomfortable. Let me work my butt off in order to create more income. Listen, if working overtime is one of the only ways right now where you can make extra money, do the overtime. Work the second job. It's not going to be sweet. It's not sweet for me to create these videos every day, Monday through Friday. But guess what? I still do it, and I love y'all. Don't get me wrong. I love creating these videos. But it took a lot of momentum. It took me over 250 videos in order for me to just start making 1 penny off of this channel. So if you think you're going to get out of a situation that's undesirable by creating some shortcut and complaining, why don't they make it cheaper? Nothing has gotten cheaper in this world. How you spend your time is where you end up. And if the people that complain like this, they always use their time unwisely. You can tell. They're telling on themselves.
I want $2,000 a month on a goddamn degree that people ain't even using. When I got out of school, I couldn't even use my degree right away. They wanted 100 years of experience. Like, what the fuck? Y'all go.
And this is where people miss the gap. Hear me out. College doesn't guarantee that you're going to get paid the most money or even the minimum. College doesn't guarantee that you're going to get a job getting out of college. College guarantees when you follow their curriculum and you borrow this money or you pay the money, that you're going to get a sheet of paper that's a degree that signifies that you or symbolizes that you completed something in the college, right? Little do people know, you got to network and know how to sell yourself. You got to know how to talk. You got to know how to make sure that I'm remembered. Most people have this problem of obscurity, which means that nobody knows you. It hurts. I know it stings. Your degree doesn't mean that people are going to remember you. You know how many people graduate with degrees? Let alone graduate with meaningful degrees. Oh, it's hard to get a job. No, you don't know how to market yourself. You don't know how to market yourself in the economy to create a vision where somebody sees you as valuable. These jobs are hiring. They're just on a more strict analysis. AI, technology, creating resumes. The game has gotten tougher. which means your skill needs to go up or you're just going to have to suffer and make less. We're no longer in the industrial age where you get the degree and you become a manager. That still helps in some job sectors, but truth is, we're in the information age. Technology is moving like this. We got the internet. You can learn something that you could have taken 4 years to learn in college and be up to date past the people who get a degree, all because of the internet. College ain't caught up with the real world. They're 4 years behind. Self-education is going to take you way further, I'm telling you.
Garnish my wages, I'm garnishing my damn job. Period. I get energy siphoned daily. Restraining myself from hopping through the computer and choking people out daily. And I've been doing this shit since I've been 16. I've been working in America since I've been 16 and ain't got too much shit to show for it other than the standard American properties.
This is literally because of how people use their money. They work for the money and then they spend it, but they don't ever put it into a vehicle where it can multiply, or they don't ever create multiple streams of income from something that they don't have to always spend their time in. This is one of the reasons why I'm an advocate of, if you want to create extra income outside of working overtime or doing Uber or doing DoorDash, which is what I've done for years, that you create assets online that make you money no matter what time of day it is. No matter what time of day it is. One of my favorite things about creating YouTube videos is that I get to look into my analytics and I see every hour of every single day, I at least have one person watching my videos. It's an asset. I record a little 10-minute segment of my life or 24-minute segment of my life, giving you all value, reacting to videos, and people replay it over and over, or a new person watches it. Assets. Being able to make money and not be limited by time. That's the cheat code, but you got to have resources. You got to have money, right? And you got to have a work ethic.
So, bitch, if you disagree with whatever I say, you could do the hokey pokey, turn your ass around, lick your own ass and burn it.
All right. Yeah, she tripping. See, when people start talking vulgar, they have no type of, like, it just doesn't make sense to me. I ain't even about to dig into that. Let's see what the people in the comment section had to say. Someone said, I paid my car off in 6 years when I received it, and my car was $38,000. My student loan is $20,000, and I've been paying on it for 8 years now, and it's $23,000 now. Make it make sense. Did you take a break? Because how in the world did your student loan increase $3,000 and you've been paying it for 8 years? If you extend your date, and guys, I'm not talking like I'm perfect. Listen to me. I recently extended my auto loan, all right, on my Tesla Model 3 2018. And I'm like, hey, let me go ahead and match up my car note on the date that I get paid, or 2 days after I get paid. And I think previously it was like 3 days before I got paid. And I was like, nah, I just want to go ahead and pull it fresh from a new paycheck. I did that thinking it was all good. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and get paid and then pay my car note. Cool. I don't have to keep pulling from the same old 2-week paycheck. Here's the truth. They charge me more interest. They charge me interest every single day on that. And once I got hit with that, I was like, what's going on? Why isn't the principal going down as much? Why did most of my money go towards the interest? You know? And I'm like, I called them and they told me, sir, you extended. Guess what? I ain't extending nothing else. I'm paying on a weekly basis. These people complain about stuff that they don't understand because they don't educate themselves. They don't want, I'm not going to say they don't want to learn, but they don't take the time to learn from their mistakes. Someone said it's the interest. Like, listen. Interest is free money to the banks. You can have interest work in your favor. You just got to create assets, or you have to invest your money into assets. All right? It's insane, man.
Pay your motherfucking student loans. Pay your motherfucking student loans. Pay them right now today, because the big annoying orange up in that fucking White House ain't playing with us no more. Because why the fuck did all my student loans go into delinquency and dropped my fucking credit score 81 points? When I tell you that I was boo-hoo-hoo-hoo-hoo-hoo-hoo-hoo-hooing the house down boots, Mama Lynn, like, I got on the phone with those people so motherfucking fast. I said, what can I do right now? Because this
One of the things that you can do is pay your car note, she's talking about student loan. Pay your student loan on a weekly basis. You'll pay less interest over time. Like the fact that people haven't been paying them and then they get hit by it and then they blame Trump. Give me a break, man. You owed the money. It's time. Like, let's go. Knock this thing out the way. We got to be more motivated than just be chill. Oh, I wish I can just have cheap payments. That ain't it, man. That ain't it. Like you're paying the minimum balance. Are you kidding me? You want to be a slave the rest of your life?
We are slaves to student debt.
Between myself and
I swear, I did not know that video was going to play next. She has literally said we are slaves to debt. Okay, let's continue.
my children, I owe $211,000 in student loan debt.
I borrowed $60,000 and now I'm $268,000 in debt.
I borrowed $70,000. Over 10 years, I paid $60,000, and I still owe $75,000 more than I borrowed.
The interest is so high and it's compounded daily. It's predatory.
If these loans don't go away, they're going to go.
All right. You know, it sounds sweet and everything because we have people who are in their 40s and their 50s, and you're like, you feel kind of like, man, I can relate to that, right? Even as a 27-year-old adult. But here's the thing. When we call things predatory, you're not tricked into these things. You make a decision. You make a decision. All right, let me see why this is popping up. White. We need the text to be a different color. Here we go. All right, L Cool J, what's going on, man? Appreciate you joining in. L Cool J said these folks need Chat GPT for $20. All their complaints and questions will be answered with an action plan of attack. Yo, this might be one of the best comments I have ever read, like, during the show, man. Like, come on. This is genius. The fact that these people are calling these loans predatory, and it's like, we've heard people say, oh, you know, I had to go to college. No, you didn't. No, you didn't. You didn't have to go to college. Nobody held a gun to your head and say, go to college. Nobody held a gun to your head and say, hey, get this auto loan. And same thing for me, man. I'm in college loan debt. Like, I got a car note. Nobody forced me to do that. I could have waited and bought a car cash. I just didn't want to have to go through the stress of getting a unreliable car. I was just tired of taking my car to the mechanics. Yeah, look, I'm good. I'm gonna take the L on the loss. I'm gonna take the L on the loan, but I'm gonna work my butt off to pay it off really early. I mean, 2 years. 2 years. Same thing with these student loans, man. All right, I'm getting me a Rolex when I become debt free. You know, that's one of my biggest things that I want to get, and that's a reward to myself. But that's not to like flex. That's me working my butt off because I know it's gonna stand for something. People have to realize that paying your loans off just doesn't mean that, oh, you're just paying bills. Make it mean something and don't go back into debt. But you got to create assets. You got to create a way for you to make money without you trading your time for it. Because a lot of people are stuck in this rat race, this loop. Go to work, get paid. Go to work, get paid. Go to work, get paid. When you create assets, it's go to work, 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 get paid. Go to work, 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 get paid, get paid, get paid, get paid, get paid, get paid, get paid. You know what I'm saying? Go to work, get paid, get paid, get paid, get paid, get paid, get paid, get paid. Like, wouldn't you rather have it that way?
Garnish my Social Security. So not only do I not have any retirement savings, I have less than what I was promised for every time I paid my Social Security out of my paycheck for the last 40 years.
I'm the very first person.
If you working for 40 years, man, and you ain't, come on, bro. 40 years?
My family that ever went to college. But I am the worst off right now than everybody in my family.
Taking out student loans was the worst mistake of my life.
Life insurance policies just to pay.
At least she admitted it. I want to see what the people in the comment section are saying. Someone said, I owe $100,000. I didn't know I had loans until senior year when they said I ran out of aid. I thought financial aid was free. I was young and naive. Never had a loan before. I think it's crazy too. Let me be clear. How people who graduate high school can make these big decisions for themselves to get in this much debt when they haven't even made not even a fraction of the money they're borrowing. It is insane. I think college should be less expensive. I think to get a degree should be less expensive. But they charge what they charge. A lot of the money goes towards athletics as well. You got to know which route you want to go down. Sometimes taking that break between high school and college is one of the most valuable things that you could have ever done. I'm glad I went to college. You know, I didn't finish the computer science degree, but I work in tech. And so I've gotten the experience. But if I were to go back in time, I would do it all over again. And I'll say why. Because I believe going through the steps that I went through, going through what I went through made me who I am today. And I'm proud of who I am today. If I didn't do that, I might end up in a completely different situation. I got a taste of who I am. Being in college, taking classes, being out on your own, living on the dorm, yeah, it's expensive. And I don't advocate anybody to take out loans just to do that. But finding yourself is one of the most important things that anybody can do because you find your purpose within that. Someone else said, I borrowed $60K. I paid $54K and I still owe $52K. I also paid loans off in lump sums, paid 4 of the 7 loans off. The daily interest is the issue. Dog. I thought I had it bad. Oh my gosh.
Student debt. Yeah, what the fuck is that? Yes.
Joe Biden can fix this, and he can fix it today. There's the provision 902.
All right, when people start looking at politicians to solve their financial issues, they've already lost. When you start looking outside of you and blaming somebody else as to like, hey, they can fix this. They didn't start it. How would they fix it? You would still find a way to be in a terrible financial situation because it wasn't that person that started it. It was you. So learn from your mistakes and adjust and move on. But blaming a politician or even pointing the finger at a politician, you should save it. No. You, the person in the mirror, should save yourself.
Everyone's always like, Brenda, why are you working so hard? Why are you doing a full-time job and posting on TikTok all the dang time? It's because I have $78,327 in student loans. And you want to know how much unpaid interest I accrued in the month of February? $523.93. And this is me paying at least a minimum of $2,000 per month. Started with a little bit over $150-something thousand because I had the bright idea of going to grad school so that I can graduate in a healthcare job to help people, but not get paid enough for the amount of student loans I had to take out. Now, my fault,
Yeah, a lot of people don't look at how much money they're borrowing versus how much they're going to be making in the job industry. They go for what they like. That's not financially wise. When you look at the most successfully financial people, it's because they either started something, they own something, or when you just look at the 9 to 5, it's just like, hey, okay, well, this industry pays a lot more, even if it's not paying as much as it costs to go for the full 4 years. It's something that's always going to be valued and that pays a ton more. It creates the wealth gap almost. Like, why go to college for something that you just enjoy? She said she went in healthcare. There's plenty of money in healthcare, but it's expensive to go to college.
to a private university, but still, it shouldn't be this hard to pay off student loan. But based on my
Another thing is this, oh, I went to Ivy League college or I went to this college. Like, bro, a degree is a degree. Honestly, and people are graduating with these degrees talking about how, oh, I can't find a job. You understand that people don't flex and say, yeah, I got hired because I went to this college. The only talk that you hear about, yeah, I went to this college, is when they're actually in the process of getting their degree. Otherwise, I haven't heard anybody. I mean, hey, let me know in the chat if you've heard people say, yeah, I got hired because I went to this college. Like, I have not heard that. It is usually because they network. It is usually because they have a specific skill. And it's usually because they sold themselves in a way to where the company wants to hire them. Never, oh, they went to this college, so that's why they got hired. Like, what?
Salary alone, there is absolutely no way that I could pay this much with just that salary alone and live a breathable, decent life. Make it make sense. Everyone's always
crazy. All right, guys, let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. We're going to go ahead and move into the next topic. Let's get it. All right, the next topic we're going to cover is the cost of living. People are literally getting pissed about the cost of living in America. All right. Now, before we get into that, I want to go ahead and we got a chat that popped up. Oh, shoot. There it goes right there. Hold on. Let me bring it down. L Cool J said, facts, a degree is a degree. Instead of going to a local state university, they choose to go for the big brand ones and end up regretting it later. 100%. And y'all, like, I share my truth up here, man. Like, what L Cool J is saying is correct. You know, so many people look at the brand because these colleges brand themselves well. It's like, you know, a sports team or, you know, they're accredited to a certain degree, and that's cool and everything. But we got to look at how much does that weigh in the real world. I always tell my younger brother, I'm like, bro, when you're in college, you're broke and you're homeless. It's the loans that's helping you pay. I mean, unless you didn't get loans, and that's cool and everything, and you get grants and scholarships, that's cool. But what is your income? What is your cash flow? You know what I'm saying? And most people, you know, they think that going to college is fun and games. They think that going to college is like, okay, cool. Well, let me live on the campus and like, have a meal plan and, you know, make sure that, you know, I get the college experience of going to this specific college, but it costs so much more versus just going for the education, going to two-year college, you know, community college. Like, I made the wrong decision of going to the college I went to. You know what I'm saying? I chose it because it was the party school. People were saying it's the party school. Man, every college is a party school. I mean, whatever. You know what I'm saying? But you got to make the most of it by actually looking at the financial decisions that we are committing ourselves to. And this is how people get themselves stuck in situations like, oh, these predatory loans. No. The loans are literally numbers on a paper. How did it become predatory? At the time, it sounded good enough for you to say yes. So how are they predatory? You made that decision. All right, guys, we're going to get into this next topic, cost of living and people complaining about it. So make sure you subscribe if you like the content, and let me know your thoughts in the comment section or the chat.